Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do the detailed review of the latest mid-range smartphone from Nokia in India, the Nokia 7.2. So Nokia 7.2 was first announced at IFA 2019, and probably this is one of the best looking smartphones from Nokia this year, and this has really great finishing and quite good hardware as well. So this retails for 18,600 rupees, that's for the 4GB RAM and 19,600 for the 6GB RAM variant. So it has a 6.3 inches full HD plus resolution display. It has a Snapdragon 660, which is kind of older chipset, and a 3500 mAh capacity battery, and it also comes with a 20 megapixel selfie camera. So quite a good hardware, but it may not be stellar in terms of what is being offered right now when you compare with the Realme and Redmi, but still for the price segment, how good it is, that's what we're going to find out in this detailed review. So let's get started with the detailed review. First up, let's have a look at the design and build quality. So one area where the Nokia 7.2 really stands out has to be the design. You can see it has a flat back panel, and this has a circular camera unit, and this back panel is finished in glass, and in fact this is one of probably the best looking smartphone in terms of the build quality as well. The superior fit and finish. It has a metal chassis. You can see that sides have also been given a brush finishing. We have the power and volume keys and also the Google button, and you can see the back panel is pretty flat, and this is a glass finishing, and unlike other glass finish devices, it's not a glossy one, it's a matte finish, so it definitely feels a bit more premium than the regular smartphones. And we have a camera unit. It's a circular camera unit, and it might be a subjective thing because circular camera unit, which is again a protruding one, might not be everyone's cup of tea, but still it feels quite good. We have the triple camera setup, and the LED flash arranged pretty neatly, and at 6.3 inches in screen size, it's pretty compact device, so using the device with one hand is also pretty good. So overall, in terms of design aspect, we feel it's a pretty good looking device, and build quality is definitely easily one of the best we have seen in the sub 20k price segment, and it feels really nice in terms of the overall fit and finish. So that's the design and build quality. Now next, let's move on to the display. So the phone comes with a 6.3 inches full HD plus resolution display, and you can see the display here. It's a notch display, and this has IPS LCD panel, and it also supports HDR for video playback. So if you're playing videos, the HDR mode is available, and it definitely gives really vibrant and punchy colors, especially when watching videos. Now otherwise the display looks quite okay. You can see that there is also Gorilla Glass support, and the touch response also feels pretty smooth, and it is easily a good display out there. We don't see any sort of issues here. So overall the display quality is definitely good on the Nokia 7.2. Next, let's move on to the software part. So this device runs on Android One platform. So we have seen all the Nokia smartphones running on Android One platform. So you can see that this is the stock Android. You can see Android One platform. So being an Android One phone, you will be getting Android 10 also. So right now it runs on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie, and this is slated to get the Android 10. That's one of the important aspects about this device being an Android One platform. So there aren't any additional features being offered. We have few gestures supported. Otherwise, it's plain and stock Android. You don't see any sort of third-party apps installed. So overall, the software experience is pretty good, and you definitely get the Android 10 update as well. Now next, let's talk about the performance. So this is one area where it may not be really great in terms of the performance aspect, especially on paper, because in the sub 20k price segment, we have seen the Snapdragon 730, Snapdragon 712, Snapdragon 675, 665. So these are the chipsets which have been really moving in the 20k price segment, and Nokia has got the 660 on the 7.2. So 660 is almost 2 years old, so it's a pretty older chipset. We have seen a 660 on phones even 2 years back, so it's a pretty older chipset. Even the Nokia 7.1 Plus, which was announced last year, also had the 660. So in that aspect, we feel this is definitely a chipset which is not really that great. But in terms of the overall performance side, 660 is a pretty capable chipset. It may not give you the performance like the 675 or the 712, but it is definitely a decently performing chipset. And even the gaming experience was quite smooth overall. We have done a detailed gaming video. You can also check out that video to find out how the experience was. We feel the 660 is quite a capable chipset, even though it may not be really powerful on paper. Now the call quality and speaker performance looks quite okay. The calls were pretty good, no sort of issues we faced, and the fingerprint scanner is placed on the back panel. It does a quite good job overall. So again, that aspect also it's pretty good, well equipped. Now next, let's move on to the cameras. So this has a triple rear camera setup. So it has a primary 48 megapixel camera. It's a Samsung's GM1 sensor, not the Sony's 586 sensor, but it is also Samsung's GM1 sensor, which we have seen on the Moto One Vision as well. Now this camera does a pretty good job. It's a f1.8 aperture camera. It also has a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensor, and on the front panel we have a 20 megapixel sensor. And overall, looking at the camera quality, we have done a detailed camera review and found the camera to be quite a capable one in terms of daylight conditions, good colors, good sharpness levels. Especially the 48 megapixel sensor does a pretty good job in terms of daylight conditions. Even the close-up shots came out pretty well. Dynamic range is quite okay, and the portrait shots also came out pretty well, even though the blurring of the background was quite strong and did give an artificial nature, but still it was quite good. Now the low light performance was not really stellar. It was kind of average or slightly above average, not the class leading performer out there. Now selfie performance also was quite okay. So overall we feel the cameras are quite capable, especially in daylight conditions and portraits and also selfies. It is definitely a capable camera. The only area where there is not that great performance was the low light conditions or the night mode. Next, let's talk about the battery. So this phone has a 3500 mAh capacity battery and it has USB Type-C port included, but unfortunately there is no support for fast charging. So it supports just a 5 volt 2 ampere charger. That is kind of not acceptable, especially for a 19k priced smartphone. There should have been some support for fast charging, especially the 18 watt should have been easy for Nokia to provide on this device, but that is missing again. Now the battery performance is quite okay. You can get a day or slightly above a day with around 4 hours of screen on time, which is quite okay for the smaller capacity battery. Again, when you compare with the competition, the battery capacity is definitely lower, but then it's quite a decent performer and you can get 1 day of battery life. Now summing up, how good is the Nokia 7.2 for 18,600 rupees? Now the Nokia 7.2 has great design and build quality, superb design and build quality as such. It's made of glass and the matte finish gives it a really great feel altogether. The display is good, the software experience is really good. You get the Android 10 pretty soon and Android One platform. The cameras are capable, even though night mode is still not that great, but still overall camera experience is quite satisfactory, decent battery life, and the performance is also quite okay, even though there is 660. So overall we feel it's a decent package out there. It may not be the best out there. Now the downsides include no fast charging support, the low light performance of the camera was not that great, and Snapdragon 660 is definitely not a chipset you would have expected in the phone which is priced 18.5k. We would have expected at least 675 or 712 in this chipset, because 660 is almost 2 years old chipset. So that is the pros and cons of the Nokia 7.2. So should you buy the Nokia 7.2? So you should be buying the Nokia 7.2 for a couple of reasons. One is great looks and build quality. Second is the stock Android and Android One platform and a decent set of cameras, and the software experience is also pretty good. So that is a detailed review of the Nokia 7.2. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.